Welcome to the Know. I'm Brian. We have a newsy-ass roundup for you guys today. Let's get to it. Number one, it looks like DICE is losing employees thanks in part to the clusterfuck that was Battlefront 2. This is according to an article from a Swedish publication called Digital that was translated by Reset Era. It said that close to 40 employees have left DICE this year thanks to the failed launch of Star Wars Battlefront 2, as well as tough competition from new gaming companies in Stockholm. Now, more than 700 people worked at DICE at the beginning of this year before the departures, but those are expected to continue. A big reason, of course, was Battlefront 2, which got a lot of criticism for its microtransactions and led to the devs having to rush out a new version of the game, which, no surprise, was pretty tough on employees. But other developers are also coming to town. Epic Games and Ubisoft have opened offices in Stockholm, and there's increased competition for employees. Sources also said that the number of employees who left DICE could be higher than 40, and ironically, prior to this, DICE was known for having a pretty low turnover rate. All right, we did a video recently about how more and more developers are embracing the games as a service model, aka microtransactions. Now we've got some new numbers just to show how profitable it is to be evil. Game Daily found a new report from DFC Intelligence. It shows that EA's value has risen from $4 billion as a company to $33 billion since 2012. As for Activision Blizzard, even bigger. It's gone from $10 billion to $60 billion in value. And of course, during that time period, both publishers fully embraced the games as a service model, much to the dismay of many gamers. EA, of course, has seen a lot of that growth thanks to lootbox heavy franchises like FIFA, Madden, and NHL. Activision saw its growth come from Destiny and Overwatch, also the purchase of King, which makes games like Candy Crush Saga. It looks like Rockstar is going hard after cheaters in GTA Online. They're even searching people's houses now. Torrent Freak reports that a court in Melbourne, Australia, granted Rockstar and its parent company Take-Two Interactive the right to search the homes of 5 people who are suspected of making the notorious infamous cheat in GTA Online. The lawsuit was filed in federal court in Australia. It allows the search of 2 premises in Melbourne for any computer, electronic storage device, or documents related to the cheat. They also froze the assets of the 5 defendants. Now, the infamous cheat has been down for months, but when it was up, it allowed players to do things like pretty much get the best weapons and vehicles in GTA Online. Before it went down, the developers were charging players about $40 for a platinum lifetime membership, according to Motherboard. So yeah, it sounds like some people are in a lot of trouble. We're 7 days out from the release of Red Dead Redemption 2, and if you've digitally pre-ordered the game, you can now get your preload on. And you might need that advance time because the game is pretty big. It's a whopping 99 gigs on the PlayStation 4 and 107 gigs on the Xbox One. Rockstar released a launch trailer for the game yesterday. We got to hear John Marston's voice again, plus Arthur and Dutch talking about one last score. Just in case you needed to get any more hyped for the game, it's almost here. The developers of the free-to-play FPS Dirty Bomb say that they are ceasing development of the game. Now, the game went into open beta in 2005, and its 1.0 version just released in August, but in a recent announcement, developer Splash Damage said that the game isn't making enough money to keep it going. They wrote, "After regaining publishing rights for Dirty Bomb nearly 2 years ago, we staffed up a load of developers and tried our best to deliver a Dirty Bomb experience that would be feature-rich with tons of new content while maintaining its great gameplay feel and balance. Unfortunately, despite all the added time and resources, there were some challenges we couldn't overcome, and we were not able to make Dirty Bomb the success that we hoped it could be. The bottom line is that we can't financially justify continuing to work on the game we love." They say they'll still host official servers as long as the player count supports it. Valve is now disclosing the odds for its loot boxes in Dota 2. They're just as terrible as you might expect. Kotaku reports that after a recent update, you can now see a list of your odds for getting the rarest stuff. Now, when it comes to the newest treasure of the Carmine Cascade loot boxes, you got about a 1 in 20,000 chance to get the rarest items, but the more you buy, the better your odds get. So if you open 23 boxes, those odds go down to just 1 in 10. By the 50th box, it's 1 in 2. Considering that each box costs $2.50, that can get pricey really quickly. But hey, at least Valve is telling you how shitty your odds are. The open world zombie game Days Gone is getting delayed. Again, Sony announced a new release date for the game, which was due to come out in February of next year, but now it's getting bumped back to April 26th. In a post, Sony said that it decided to move the game from the crowded February timeframe, writing, "While the studio is eager to see Days Gone in the hands of fans, Bend Studio will take the opportunity to further polish the game." This isn't the first delay of the game. Days Gone was initially supposed to come out this year, but apparently they are taking the time to get it right. John Total Biscuit Bain, who died earlier this year, will be inducted into the eSports Hall of Fame. This is the first time that honor has gone to a non-player. It'll happen at the ESL One Hamburg 2018 event that's going down later this month. In a post on ESLGaming.com, editor Hans Olschlagel wrote that Total Biscuit was widely respected for his vast influences across the gaming community, and his prominence also shaped the esports scenes around him. While he was never a player himself, countless events were managed, sponsored, commentated, and produced by this true supporter of the sport. He went on to say his influence on the esports scene cannot be understated, as his passion and support helped drive various competitive titles towards the heights they reach today. Definitely a cool honor and well-deserved. All right, this next item, not really news, but it's one of the craziest achievements we've ever seen, and it involves the Stanley Parable, which released 5 years ago this week. Now, you might have played the game. It started out as a Half-Life 2 mod, got a lot of praise for its unique interactive storytelling. It also had an achievement that wasn't available until now. That would be the Go Outside achievement, which was awarded for not playing the game for 5 years. Meaning you can only get it if you played the game when it released, then put it down for a long time. Twitter user Davey Redden noted that October 17th was the first day that it was possible to legitimately get the achievement. So congrats if you earned it. That's simultaneously one of the easiest and hardest achievements to get ever. But before you open it, be sure you waited the whole 5 years before you check it on Steam. Otherwise, you got another long wait ahead of you. All right, let's do some entertainment news. We are used to Greek mythology being represented as constellations in the sky, but how about famous movie monsters? Well, NASA just assigned Godzilla his own constellation, and it is a wildly appropriate one. He's represented in a gamma constellation along with a few other notable pop culture characters. The gamma ray is the universe's highest energy light created by pulsars, supermassive black holes, and nova outbursts, and NASA has been charting their light for the last 10 years, and to celebrate their 10th anniversary, they've added Godzilla and his heat ray to the night sky. Other pop culture additions include the Hulk, who was himself created by a gamma ray experiment gone wrong, the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek, even a TARDIS from Doctor Who. Now, NASA is quick to say that these are unofficial constellations, but who the fuck else is going to have the authority to assign constellations? I feel like that's y'all's job, NASA. Anyway, the night sky is a little geekier now, and it is awesome. Now, Sylvester Stallone has gone up against some super tough opponents in his movies. In the Rocky movies, we had Apollo Creed, Ivan Drago, Clubber Lang, aka Mr. T. Then in Rambo, we had the Viet Cong, Russians. Well, now he's going up against a monster in a film called Hunter, based on a book by the same name by James Byron Huggins. Stallone would play the lead, a skilled hunter who is enlisted to track down and kill an escaped genetic monstrosity that has wiped out soldiers in its escape and is headed toward civilization. Interestingly enough, Stallone has had the rights to this book for almost 10 years. At one point, even planned to adapt it into a Rambo movie. But it's not going to be John Rambo chasing down this genetic abomination, but Stallone is setting up the movie as a starring vehicle for himself. It kind of sounds crazy, but you know what? It might work. Who knows? All right, that is all the news we've got in Roundup today. Let us know what you think about all these stories in the comments below. For all your news from every corner of the internet, like this video, subscribe to The Know. Better yet, go to our website, theknow.tv. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Game Daily found a new report from DFC Intelligence, and it shows that EA's value has risen from $4 billion. Let's see. But in a release But in a release, DB nearly 2 years ago, we staffed up a load of developers.